Yeah, thank you, Joni. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Great to be here today. Today, we'll be looking at what your HR system looks like on the other side of COVID-19. Again, this is brought to you by Arcoro and your value-added reseller, ETHOSystems. On the call today, we have myself from Arcoro. I'm Brent Sheik. I'm the channel manager, and I'll let Mackenzie do a quick intro as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mackenzie. I'll be the solutions consultant on the call. So I'm from the Arcoro team, and I'm a product specialist. So once Brent kind of gives you an introduction to who we are as a company and why we're really on the call, I'll dive into our products. You can see kind of an overview of our actual solution. So good to be here and looking forward to that portion of the call.
Awesome. Thanks, Mackenzie. So before we jump in, really wanted to take a dive into the challenges that we're seeing right now facing HR in the midst of COVID-19 here. So the first one that we see is companies are really having the challenge of how do we track all the additional health, safety, and training requirements that companies have to adhere to now, and how do we keep our employees safe and in compliance? Next is managing remote work. This is something that people are doing for the first time, some of them. So how do we properly manage remote work? That's kind of where the rest of these challenges lie as well. How do we maintain proper communication between our employees and our management teams? How do we keep our employees engaged with each other and with the company? And also workforce planning. How do we properly plan our workforce in uncertainty, and how do we properly hire right now? So luckily at Arcoro, we do have some great tools that really help to solve these challenges. Our HRIS system does provide seamless HR management from anywhere. So we empower companies to hire the right people. We empower companies to grow within for optimal success, and also manage 100% of their compliance as well. And we do this for over 10,000 companies all across the nation. The big thing that makes us different is that we are focused, and our big footprint is in construction and hard hat industries. We have over 7,000 clients in these industries alone. And we actually got our start within these industries about 20 years ago, along with the AGC of America. We actually built a job board for them, and we've been doing this ever since. So we've really grown up in this construction world. We know it really well, and we're still big partners with the AGC of America. One of our big claims to fame is our 94% client retention rate. This is really due to our laser focus on customer service. All of our clients are given a dedicated implementation manager, and they're also given a dedicated account manager for help after implementation is over. So there's no ticket line to call. There's a real live person on the other end of an email and on the other end of a phone call, and we are 100% US based. And then our full suite of services, we have them broken down today into 3 different categories. The first category is hiring, which is applicant tracking and onboarding. This also includes recruiting as well. For managing employees, we have core HR, we have benefits management, we have ACA reporting, time and attendance, compensation management. And for growing and retaining and keeping employees engaged, we have our growing modules, which are the performance management, the learning management, and the succession planning. Now, a few great things to remember about the services here. They are 100% cloud-based, so you really can use Arcoro anywhere. They are modular in nature, meaning that you don't have to buy the full solution set to have one piece. If you only need time and attendance, you can definitely do that. If you only need performance management, you could do that as well. So what this allows you to do is really piece together a solution that works best for you and your company. You can also add on modules as you go as well, if you need to. Last but not least, we are very integration focused. We're very integration friendly. We integrate with almost every payroll underneath the sun. And we also can integrate with your ERP providers, such as Sage 100 and Sage 300 CRE. So very flexible when it comes to integrations. So with that, I can hand it over to Mackenzie for the demo. As Joni said, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat box, and we can answer them there, or we can answer them after Mackenzie's done with the demo. So once again, thank you, everybody.
All right. So I'm going to switch gears here and take over so that we can take a look at some of the solutions that Brent was just talking about. Now, just to reiterate, we are modular, so you can piece things together as you'd like. So we're only going to look at a couple of the pieces today, but we can certainly discuss any other modules that you have interest in on a follow-up call or in the questions even today on the webinar. So certainly not the full suite that you're going to see, but it should give you a preview. Now I'm starting with the applicant tracking portion, just kind of going from the hire to retire order of things. just because this is how you're going to be able to automate all of your recruiting efforts and make this a lot easier so you can hire the right people. Now, candidates will start to apply to jobs once you post them, but those are all going to be managed here in the applicant tracking system and very easily posted because you have templates waiting for you. So now, with the appropriate screen in front of you, this is the homepage of our applicant tracking system. So as I mentioned, you'll have the candidates and the jobs that you need to manage all cleanly stored here. Now, these are the jobs that are pre-existing. So I've already posted those jobs and I can go in and look at candidates that have applied to them. But as mentioned, I want to show you how easy it is to actually initially post a job. Now, we have approval processes that you can kind of streamline via people's email inboxes. So as people are working in different offices or even from home during this time, you can still make this very collaborative. But for today, I'll just make sure that we can post it fast. And I'm just going to pretend I'm hiring a financial analyst because that's one of the templates I have pre-created. So all of our customers have their own versions of job templates stored within their systems so that they can get positions out there nice and easy. Now, posting a job is going to be a three-step process. It's going to show me all of the information I've already pre-stored about the job. And this is all customizable. Maybe some information that's subject for approval, can insert that. But really, our system is really configurable. So I would just say, as you're looking into HR automation technology, make sure that it's not a set in stone system that you need to force your process into. Vendors like us are really kind of the way to go, just as far as making sure you can configure the software around your needs, not the other way around. So you're going to be able to customize everything and anything about the job. We're going to have automated emails going out to candidates throughout the entire process. So as soon as they apply, they're hearing from you. They have the adequate follow-up that they need based on the messages that you would be sending out anyway. Now, this EEO component is important just to highlight our focus on compliance. So any affirmative action reports that you would need to prove, whether you're a federal contractor or for whatever other reason, that's a completely automated process with us. So none of our customers have ever failed a compliance audit, and that's something we do like to brag about for obvious reasons. Now, without spending too much time here, I just want to mention that you can pre-qualify candidates as they apply based on whatever criteria you need. So this just eliminates the need to go and review resumes from people that just are clearly not a fit, whether that's not having a certain degree or a certification, license. So you can kind of weed people out as you need. Now, the distribution page is a big attraction of the applicant tracking system just because you don't want to have to manage a bunch of different job boards manually. Most people are just using Indeed or Glassdoor today and kind of fielding candidates from separate spots, pulling them into an Excel spreadsheet and figuring it out from there. But we kind of graduate that process quite a bit. So we'll post this to your company website and then into 40 different free job boards. So the exposure really multiplies there as far as who can see the job and the reach that you're getting. And if you wanted to add a sponsorship onto the job or an advertisement, you can also purchase those from our system. Now, with social media and referral networks involved, or connected, I should say, we're really incorporating every recruiting channel that you'd want to use, all from this one step. So referrals would be an email to anyone and everyone that would need to see that job. But then once they click post, it would end up back on the job's homepage. And a candidate could apply. Now, a couple things about the candidate experience is that we don't require a username or password to apply to jobs or that you create any sort of account in our talent portal. A lot of companies you will see online, if you just go through applications and kind of see how things work, we'll do that today, and it just drives the applicant volume way down. So we're really making that a convenient experience. Of course, that's all going to be available from their mobile app as well. So any device that they're on, you can access all of our modules. Now, candidate management is extremely simple when it comes to our applicant tracking system because Once they apply, they're pre-ranked based on what you need to know. Again, those pre-screen questions will tell you who's inactive and active. Inactive would host anyone that didn't pass your knockout questions. And then you can take any action that you would need to right from here to engage with that candidate all the way into potentially making an offer and hiring them. Now, the response time with the candidates is always going to be increased because of this or enhanced. And that's important, especially during times like these. Everyone's kind of out of pocket. People are trying to manage the work-life balance from home a lot of the time. So everything needs to be accessible, and then even from your phone. So any candidate that you want to get in contact with is automatically being followed up with in a lot of ways here. But as soon as they're hired, we'd be able to connect this right into an onboarding packet. Let me just make sure my screen flipped over. Now I'm going to walk through the onboarding experience from a candidate's point of view. And I should probably call this the new hire's point of view at this point. Let me see if I can, there we go. All right. Now, employee onboarding a lot of times, unfortunately, means that you're sitting in an office with HR and filling out manual paperwork with pen and paper, and really kind of delaying you getting to the actual position on the job. So what we've done is we've created an onboarding packet that's completely in line with government standards, and we've made it paperless. So we are going to send any candidate that you wish to hire a link to this packet with their own unique username password so they can access this onboarding portal, starting with a welcome page. So it's kind of a warm welcome to the company, but with the added convenience that they are filling this out ahead of time, and they can get right into their day-to-days on the job on that first day. Now you can see it's a really user-friendly experience. Each icon represents a different area that you're requiring for onboarding. And required is actually required. And what I mean by that is that they won't be able to move forward and successfully complete this packet and return it back to you if they're missing something that is required for you to hire them. So we're kind of putting the safety checks in place so that you can move through all the information you need to collect from that new hire, including this government forms, all with ease and all online. Now we also update the forms as the government updates them, so you'll never have to worry about form management or even differentiating between different states. We've got people in different areas across the country. You'd be able to surface the right state form here. Now, once they got to the end here, it would ask me to reinsert that password and then click to sign off on my paperwork, which would be returned back to you. Now, just to touch on the payroll piece, we can ask for direct deposit with all the self-help guides that they would need to fill this out accurately. And then this eliminates a lot of manual entry as far as data goes for anyone on your payroll team, because we could push this right into Sage or any payroll system that you're working with, since we're pretty agnostic there. So a lot less work transferring candidate and then new employee data into another system. Now, speaking of other systems, once you hire an employee, there is usually a system of record that you need to have them represented in. So we can push all their onboarding information into that system of record and create an ongoing HR employee self-service portal so that throughout their employment, they have access to all critical information autonomously. So this is an example of an employee self-service portal. There's a lot of different things you can remove or add to this page. Just as an overview, you'll see here that there's just kind of a company area. You can put any, emergency contact information for HR, or, company address, whatever they need. Time and attendance is something that we can cover comprehensively, whether you need geofencing and need to validate people's location as they're on the clock, or if it's just a simple clock in, clock out, something we can support. Company announcements, pretty self-explanatory. Time off requests, you can manage vacation time from here, which is also critical with the new COVID restrictions, or I guess requirements that you need to be able to prove and track that you've offered people the appropriate amount of time with certain laws. So all of that is considered with us. And then it's easy for employees to come in and just request that time for managers to either approve or deny. As we work in our way into benefits, we can discuss the fact that we are a full benefits engine. We can connect you to your carriers and just eliminate a lot of the benefits administrative work to happen. So behind the scenes, we can clean that up and then give employees a really simple access point to that information, whether that's where their payments for benefits are going, or they need to update that information with a change event. Change events are one of my favorite parts of our modules just because they give employees the ability to update their information at their fingertips. So if they need to change their address, they got a new bank account, they need to add a new debit card or a new account they want to get paid into. Maybe their tax situation's changed. All of that should be simple. So that's what we've tried to create here with change events. Now just so you can see open enrollment and how our benefits engine works. This is the employee experience. As soon as someone's eligible for open enrollment, we'll go ahead and alert them so they can come in and complete this step-by-step process. And again, we're not asking them for more information that we already have here. So we're eliminating a lot of redundancy in an employee's process, filling out paperwork or any other housekeeping items, because this is all coming from that initial onboarding packet. You've got a content library, which you can, of course, customize. So any documents or videos that you feel your employees should see as they enroll in their benefits could be listed here. And we're also preventing any enrollments in coverage plans that don't match their dependents. So employee only is listed. That's because I didn't put any dependents here. So we're kind of just saving people from themselves as they go through, even though they're working with technology and a lot of times on their own. Now, as I promised, we weren't going to get too deep into the modules today. I just wanted to ensure that we get pretty much an idea of some of the things that you can automate. One thing I'll point out just to close out here is just pay stubs. So we can connect to your payroll provider and ensure that pay stubs are coming from here, just like benefit statements or anything else that an employee would need. But really, this makes workforce management extremely simple for both administrative or HR individuals and the workforce themselves. So especially during this time and when people are needing to be more strategic and agile at work, this type of software can be a huge difference. So any other questions for the other modules that we showed earlier, we can certainly take now, or we can set up follow-up calls for. But for now, I'll pass things back to the team for question asking.
Yeah, thanks, Mackenzie. I didn't see any questions come through. We can give that another second or two. It doesn't like any questions are coming down. And the big thing to remember here is, with all the work from home, really the cloud-based software, it's becoming more and more important, and we've been doing it since day one. So we're not having to play catch up with anybody or anything like that. So yeah, if there's any further questions, we'd be happy to answer them through ETHOSystems. So yeah, just let us know. We definitely appreciate the time today.
Thanks, Brent. I don't see any other. I've unmuted everybody. So I think you've done such a good job that everyone has followed along great. I will be sending this recording out to everybody who attended and didn't attend it. So you'll have this for your reference, and you can reach out to Tony Mary at ethosystems.com or directly. Well, thank you so much. You did a great Wednesday. And I think we're going to call this a wrap. And like I said, we'll have a follow-up email with the recording. Thanks, everyone, for their time.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.